That's a good ass intro.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I mean, how are you tonight?
Honestly, can I tell you the truth?
Yeah.
No, let's just skip that.
Whatever y'all want me to do, I'm gonna do it.
Let's go into this new album.
Okay, what's up?
SleepingGiant. Tell
What's
us
poppin'?
a little bit about yourself first, and then let's go into this album.
I'm P.A.Flex. I came up in Columbus under Elevator Music, and I've been working on this music for so long, and it's like, as an artist, I work on music like from a general perspective. Like I write songs for other people, I write hooks for other people, I do so much shit for other people that, and Buka knows this, that like I don't really think of myself too much. So when it came time to do this album, I had to like zone out and like not care about other people and just work on my own music. And so that's what came about when you talk about SleepingGiant. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it right there.
You've been doing it since '88. So what keeps the spark in you?
To be honest with you, anybody that's been doing something since they were a child, it's like you don't really have to keep the spark. It's just part of your life. Like I've been doing art and music since I was a kid.
Right.
So it's like I don't know how to do nothing else. All I know how to do is just do art and do music, and that's all I know how to do. So I don't really know how to do nothing else.
So really what I'm saying is some people are doing it to gain like a monetary aspect of it, and some people are doing it from passion. Like what keeps you going? Like 88 is a long time. Like, you know what I mean? So how do you keep finding the love for this when, you know, it has so many ups and downs? And some people fall off when they feel like they're not getting where they're going.
That's a good ass question, to be honest. That's a regular question, but it's a good question. When you do this music, especially urban music, black music, especially like if you want to really speak on where we're at right now, I do music from the place of like just expression. It's like God gave me the ability to use words to get people to like be together and shit. So I try to do the best I can to make music that brings people together. But it's not just like people. It's black people. Like I speak from a place that brings oppressed people together. So if you want to bring it all the way to like 2021, like the shit that we're dealing with right now, the shit that I do, it's all about black people and bringing them together. So like that's pretty much why I do what I do, and we always need black people to be together.
Right.
Even though we might not be together, we might not act on one accord, somebody's supposed to speak for black people being together. And I try the best I can to do that.
That's why you say a lot and then you say nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and you know what? Let me say something on that. You say a lot, but you say nothing. What I mean by that is that like I don't try to make myself more prevalent or more important than any other artist. All I try to do is say, look, I was born in 1979. I grew up in the north side of Columbus, and I grew up with a black mother by herself. Like, there's a lot of people that grew up in those same circumstances, and we deal with the same stuff. All I do is just be honest, and I say what I deal with, and it's usually the same thing that a lot of other black boys or black girls deal with. They deal with a single mother, a single strong black mother, and she has to raise her kids in America where they don't give a damn about black people.
Okay, so that's what I took from the album when I listened to SleepingGiant. I took that you're not claiming to be perfect, but you're not shying away from growth. And I
Yes.
respect that a lot about the album. So, did Sleeping Giant come about in 2020? Or was that already something that you was planning on, you know, bringing to the forefront?
Yo, okay, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm not sure who came up with these questions, but these are good questions. That's all I'm
They
saying.
my questions.
Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't want to assume. These are good questions.
And then let me introduce myself because I didn't. I'm Janice of Girlfriends Talk magazine, also of Earmatic magazine. So yeah, so I'm very familiar with. Yeah, so.
I'm very familiar with Girlfriends Talk.
So, okay.
I'm familiar with you too. So that's good. The thing about Sleeping Giant is that Sleeping Giant was supposed to be like the second part of a double album. It was supposed to be Black Gold and then Sleeping Giant. And then you put them together and they're supposed to be like one album, like a double album. But it didn't work out like that. So I'm not worried about that. But what this is supposed to be is Sleeping Giant was supposed to be a representation of a person, which is me, that like is a dope artist, but wasn't going as hard as they were supposed to go. Cause I've been married for almost 18 years. I'm about to get divorced, and it's like a whole bunch of shit. So it's like my main priority was my family, and I never prioritized being like an artist.
That was one of my questions.
Until like
yeah, that was one of my questions, but I didn't want to really bring up your personal life. Like I noticed you.
No,
have
go
children.
ahead. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I noticed you have you have a real job.
Yes.
So you know it's just not about the music. I noticed you had children, and I could tell that you was really a family man. So I was just wondering, like on top of like finding a passion, how did you juggle all of that and stay on track?
Listen. I've been doing this since I was 8 years old. I've been doing this since way before my wife, way before my children, and I continue what I'm doing just as a grown person. Like I don't act like, well, my kids know who I am. My kids know I smoke weed. My kids know I'm imperfect. My kids know that we're not gonna stay married. Everything I do is very real, and it has to come across in the music. So, like everything we do is like a representation of our real life. So, it's a very imperfect expression.
All right.
So, I guess that's the best way I can say that.
Okay. So, I noticed that you're into your chakras and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do that like what role do that play in your creativity?
Wow, listen, this is a good question. My wife, that's soon to be my ex-wife, like she introduced me to a lot of different things. Like when you meet a really good woman that knows a lot of shit, usually she like introduces you to like some next level shit. So I got introduced to like different chakras and different shit. Even though it didn't work out with me and her, I still understand the need for like balance in life, and I understand that I work a lot, but I have to create a lot, and I have to have this balance that enables me to be a good father. That's going to enable me to be a good husband as I go further with another woman. So I hate to say this because it doesn't sound humble. I'm one of the realest artists you're ever going to meet. I'm going to give you like the imperfect part of me, and I don't mind doing that. And what Sleeping Giant is giving you like the real PA. It's giving you the good husband, the bad husband, the good father, the bad father. Like it's giving you like a real perspective of what a black man is. I'm not trying to paint no picture of somebody that's not real. Like I'm painting a picture of somebody that's a good father, but also a bad husband. Like a good husband, but also a bad father. I'm all of that. So I want people to understand that you can be that. Like I'm not perfect. I'm somebody who loves my kids and wished I could be a perfect father, but I'm not. Okay. So, but my kids know who I am. Like I want people, whoever listens to this interview, to understand that I have 3 children. They all know who I am. They know I smoke weed. They know I'm a nigga. They know I'm not trying to be fake. I'm a real person who, at the bottom line of this whole shit, that I love my kids unconditionally, and they know who I am.
So technically, you're a human being.
I'm a real person, yes.
Yes, and being humble and being open makes you a real person. So that can never make you be full of yourself. So moving right along to the SleepingGiant. Look, can we go into the album?
Yep.
Okay, can you tell us something about it?
The album, this is what SleepingGiant represents. I'm going to be completely real with you. Okay. SleepingGiant represents P.A.Flex as an artist who, my main focus for the last probably 10, 15 years has been my family. Has been my oldest son, who's about to be 18 in May. And I have another son that's about to be 12. And I have a daughter that just turned 10 on January 3rd. That's my main focus, is for them to like grow and live and be great people. My main focus was never no rapper shit. My main focus was never no artist business shit. So SleepingGiant represents an album that I sat back, I was taking care of my family, and I let all these other rappers that y'all probably know, I'm not gonna tell nobody's names, I let them go ahead and put their albums out and be like an artist and all that. And like what they did was they just like put out regular music. Like they put out regular music and they didn't really put out dominant, like strong music. So SleepingGiant represents like the sleeping artist who allowed all these other artists to have an opportunity to take control of Columbus and Ohio and like the whole like scene.
So what made you just finally want to come to the forefront? Like after you let everybody go first, and let everybody put out what they want to put out, what told you it was time?
That's a good question too. What told me was it was a combination of things. One, honestly, I've been married since 2003.
Right.
And this is some crazy shit I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say this shit because I'm one of the realest dudes in the world. Sometimes in life, you just you understand that you've been living a life for a certain person, but you have to live it for yourself, or you got to live it for your kids. You got to live it for like the real reason why you're living it. And like in the last 12 months, the company that I started, North City Music Group, like all the guys that I employed, they kept working. Like I was going through some real life personal shit, and like they kept working on their albums. They kept going when I slowed down. Because I was going, sometimes as an artist, you go through real life shit and you don't know how to like balance it to like, to go through it. And I was just going through it and I was just dealing with it. But my business partners, they kept working on their albums. They kept going, they kept going. So once they got done, they told me like, PA, it's time for you to finish your album. And I couldn't like not finish it because like they already proved to me like no matter what stress, no matter what like adversity that they were dealing with, they said we're gonna finish our album. So they looked at me like, okay, like it's time for you to finish your album. So I didn't have no choice, but I had to finish my album. It's like, so honestly, if you pay attention to North City Music Group, Cos Oliver, it's his fault. Anything that my album does is Cos's fault.
All right.
Because he told me.
So
He kept saying, Albert. He said, PA, finish your album. Finish your album. Finish your album. And he kept like putting the battery in my back, like you need to finish your album. So if anything that happens as a result of this album is Kaz's fault.
okay. So a great poet said they don't make awards and hand them out to pretenders.
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
I know. So when it's all said and done, how do you feel about this project that you just put out?
How do I feel?
Yes. Do you feel like this was the best that you could do, or you still got more to bring to the table?
Listen. See, okay, look, I'm going to tell you again, as you're asking really good questions.
Mm-hmm.
I did very well on this project. I'm not going to lie, like I didn't do good and I didn't follow the other executive producer. His name is Jack Burton, a.k.a. the Audio Unit.
Mm-hmm. I'm familiar with him.
He went to Northland, just like me. We are Northland dudes.
Mm-hmm.
It's his fault too, because we have these conversations and we be like, yo, we got to do this, you got to do that. At the end of the day, all I want people to understand about this album is that I was honest. I was honest. I did the best I could, and just telling people how I really feel. I've been in Columbus, Ohio, doing this shit since the 80s. I know all the people, all the players. I know everybody. And I was just trying to be honest. I was trying to make an honest album that people can at least, you don't have to agree with it, but you at least are gonna respect what I said, because you know that I've been around for a long time, so I'm not gonna say nothing that's not substantial.
Okay.
So that is the answer to your question, is that all I care about is people listen and they're like, okay, that's how he feels. It's an honest expression of how I feel, and that's all I can really go with.
All right. So speaking of feelings, is the most like your love song of the album?
The most? Do you want me to be honest?
Yes, I do.
I'm be all the way honest.
Mm-hmm.
The most is talking about me. Because if you listen to the hook on the most, I said, this is what I said. I said, she got the most because she got me. Like, so the most is really
I slipped
me.
on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The most is me. I said, this lady, she has the most because she got me. I'm the most.
Okay.
And I'm the most because I'm extra. I do way too much. It's a whole bunch. It's like if you ever been in a relationship with a guy and he does way too much, or you do way too much. I'm not asking you to tell me, but I'm saying, like, if you do way too, you know, and like I know, you be like, I do way too much, right? Like, I'm the most. I do way too much. So that's what that means. And that song is about one of my best friends, my wife, that I'm about to divorce.
Okay.
And I love her. I love her like I love her like she gave me 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
So I love her a whole bunch, but she gets on my nerves. I don't know if you got kids. Yes, I don't know if you got kids or husband or ex, whatever.
I have an ex-husband and I have kids, so I definitely know the feeling.
There you go.
And I can understand.
You already know.
So, audio replay.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's super dope, and Wallaby is one of my favorite people, one of my favorite hustlers out here.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yep. So, why did you choose, or how did that particular song come about with these artists?
Well, audio replay is like it's a continuous song. Audio replay, the first audio replay is on, it's an album called 50, is it 50 Jumpers? 50 Jumpers came out on The Cure. It came out on September 11, 2020.
Okay.
This is the first audio replay. The number 2 audio replay is on my album.
Okay.
Audio Replay is a nickname for AU.
Oh, okay.
That's all that is. So every Audio Replay song that you ever hear is gonna be produced by AU, and it's gonna be a whole bunch of niggas rapping on it. So Audio Replay Part 2, we got C10, got Wallaby, got my brother Co City, got Lou, and got me. Audio Replay ain't nothing but like a crew song that got a whole bunch of niggas rapping on it. And we have Audio Replay Part 3 that we already started. It's on the soundtrack for my book. I'm putting out a book called 50 Jumpers, and number 3 is on that soundtrack. So
would it have the same artists on there?
No. Every time you get an Audio Replay song, it's gonna be different artists on there. It'll be me. I'll be on there. Okay. But like all the other artists will be different.
All right, so I have 2 favorite songs on here. I have SleepingGiant and God Body Boy. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Farrakhan messages, or I don't know what it is, but those are my 2 favorites. So, what is your favorite song on the album?
My favorite song on the album, honestly, my favorite song. I gotta hear this song. I gotta hear this. My favorite song on the album is North Side, South Side. And I'm gonna tell you why. I grew up on the North Side, 161 and Maple Canyon, like from 1981 all the way to 2000. That's 19 years.
Okay.
I lived in the same apartment complex on 161 and Maple Canyon, York Terrace North, Burlington Lane, 2169, me and Co City. And then when I bought my first house, I bought it on the south side, on Linwood, in Whittier, Livingston, down by Children's Hospital, like gentrification capital.
You switched it all the way up when you went there.
Yeah. Okay. And the funny thing is, and I'm gonna tell you this because you're a black woman, and I love black women so much. It's cause of my wife that's about to be. She the one picked this house out, but I bought that motherfucker, right?
It sounds like you don't really want to leave your wife.
No. Can I be honest with you?
I don't want you to lie to me.
I gotta be honest, Luke. I'm gonna cut it off now. Look, cut that shit off. Don't record this part. Look. Just like any other responsible black man, I said that my goal in life was to have all of my kids by the same woman. I have 3 children by this one woman that I'm about to divorce. I love her like you don't understand. I love this woman like it's the best. It's just we're not supposed to be together. But I have 3 children with this girl. She picked this house out, but I bought it on the south side. Okay. So it's like she always, these is her children that live in this house right now, and my wife right now, she's in London. She's in London, like Europe. Okay. She's getting her master's degree. And I'm just supporting her getting her master's degree. I'm telling you that, I'm not even telling you this because we're on an interview. I'm telling you this because you're a black woman and I love black women. Okay. My wife right now is in Europe. She's in London, United Kingdom, getting her master's while I take care of my 3 children. I have a 17-year-old, I have an 11-year-old, and I have a 10-year-old. Okay. I think I pretty much talked about my favorites. The Poise, is there anything you want to talk about on the album?
I do rock with the most, bro. That was the one that stuck out to me real big. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, what? Now you tell me that. I was like,
I asked him about that. He said the most was him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's crazy. It makes sense. It makes sense, though.
Let me tell you about the most real quick. The most was a song I had the hook from, and I don't know if y'all know hip hop history, but there's a place that I took that hook from. Do you know where I took the hook from? Common sense. Before before he became Common.
Right.
He was Common Sense.
And we was just talking about Common.
1993. He had an album, Resurrection.
Okay.
He got somewhere on that album. Somewhere on that album, he says, "What's the hook?" He says, "What's the hook?" Shit, I'm high. What's the hook on the most? Basically, easily. Yeah, he said that shit. He said, "Easily I approach. She does my raps. That's how we got close." He said that in this song. I don't remember where he said it at, but he said that. And I just took that part. She does my raps. That's how we got close.
Ain't that a... Well, didn't he get that from Common Sense?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I took it from Common.
I'm pretty sure.
And he was Common Sense.
Rakim. But anyway,
he might have.
Where did you get Evangelist starts to spit once the candles lit? I mean, how did you come up with that line?
Candles lit. Candles are joints. Like if I say blowing candles,
I'm so slow. Cause I'm
a weed
picture the lady lighting the candle and everything.
If I say blowing candles, I'm talking about blowing weed. I'm talking about blowing joints in their joints. Like it's not a blunt or like a bowl. If I say blowing candles, it's a joint.
So you the evangelist?
Yes.
PA, you know what all of this sounds like?
What does it sound like?
It sounds like the sleeping giant is woke.
Pretty much.
Facts. Hey man, let me go off in my little weird ass questions, man. My questions ain't as technical as hers. Actually, they're not even really questions. They're just comments. I got 3 little this or that questions, and you just answer one or the other, and you can explain.
Okay.
I'm not going to be as technical or go into politics or anything, because, you know, but you pick one or the other, and then, you know, maybe explain why you feel that way. Spontaneous, or are you a planner?
Wow. I mean, honestly, I'm more of a planner. But like I'm one to, like, if I get the right vibe, I'll go with the spontaneous stuff. But I'm more of a planner. If I had to pick one, I'm way more of a planner. Yeah, I'm way more of a planner.
So did you do any spontaneous things with this album? Or did you really plan this whole...
Yo, look, I'm going to tell you like this. One of my favorite people in the world, my financial guy that makes sure I don't mess up my money, he told me I shouldn't tell people this. I'm going to tell him because I'm an asshole. I'm going to tell him. Look, my single, Whiskey in the Winter, that shit wasn't even supposed to be there. Look. Whiskey in the Winter wasn't even on my album. Like, my album was all the way done. And me and Luke, this guy right here, I'm in his apartment right now. We had a show in Ohio. And my producer told me the beat for Whiskey in the Winter. Like my album was all the way done. Just imagine my album without Whiskey in the Winter. Let me ask you that.
I fellow black man.
You don't listen to my album.
A whole different project.
Can you imagine my album without Whiskey in the Winter?
Nah.
No, I'm asking you a question. Like, seriously.
Nah, I thought it worked perfectly.
Yeah,
that's why you released the first single.
Well, no. That's the answer to the question. Is that Whiskey in the Winter was not even supposed to be there. Me and Lou had a show, and like in the middle of the night, like 12:30, my producer sends me the beat. He said, "PA, you got too many." He said, "You got a lot of features on the album. You need a single that is just you." So like 12:30, 12:45, and like Sunday morning, he sends me that beat, and I already had a set. Go to the studio, and like I think 7 o'clock that night, to do other songs. He sends me that beat. I write that song that day, and I record that song that night.
You are now rocking with the best. P.A.Flex, Yeah, we know. Let's get it.
No tea, no shade.
Never that dope.
I just call spade a spade.
No tobacco.
They wonder why the lemonade.
Let's go.
It keep getting stronger every day. It tastes like whiskey in the winter, baby. Turn safe from a bona fide sinner, baby. It tastes like whiskey in the winter, baby. Turn safe from a bona fide sinner, baby. No tea, no shade.
Never that dope.
I just call spade a spade.
No tobacco.
They wonder why the lemonade.
Let's go.
It keep getting stronger every day. It tastes like whiskey in the winter, baby. Turn safe from a bona fide sinner, baby. It tastes like whiskey in the winter, baby. Turn safe from a bona fide sinner, baby. Been advanced since I was a beginner, baby. I was a summer, Coast City was a winner, baby. After school, I was home before dinner, baby. Mom went back to work, I was at the center, baby. Wilbur Park, Carl Rose, smoking plenty switches. Javon Collins, Frank Button, Lenny, he was with us. Had to get the perfect canvas just to paint the picture. Art feels good when the money, you can take it with you. Circle got smaller, everybody ain't with your passport. PA, yelling go DJ. Passing around, rolling papers like a fucking relay. I was on three-way with AU and Philly. Talking about the bad weather in the music business. And once you try to flow through the snow and quitting, quickly go to the make you wanna come on.
What's next for North City Music? It's all about the company. We're set up right now. I had a really big meeting last night, which is really good with my brother, Coast City, is my partner. My goal for 2020 is to just take what we've done and just kind of just multiply it. I have a lot of connections through the states and then different parts of the world. And what we're trying to do really is just plug everything in kind of at the same time. And just Columbus and in America to being across the world, so that we can kind of just impact the whole culture at the same time.
Okay.
Because I have all the connections, I have all the people to plug the songs in the albums, like in Brazil and in London and in different parts of like Ghana and Zimbabwe, like the different parts of the world. Like I have people that I literally know that I know that are living in different parts of the world. So I'm just trying to plug this out, and then we'll have it all over the world.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. We appreciate you coming on. Let everybody know where they can catch your music and get with you on social media.
Yeah, man. Shit. North City. I think it's North City _ North. Look, just hit me on Instagram, P.A.Flex _ genius. P.A.F.L.E.X _ genius. On Facebook at Northside Song King. That's Northside Song King. Or Albert P.A. Matthews.
Bridlington
on IG at Bridlington Brothers or North City Music Group or 50 Jumpers. We have a lot of pages.
Yeah, you do.
But
you do.
Just put in P.A.Flex. This is what I tell people to do. Go to YouTube and put in P.A.Flex on Sway. And it'll come up. We was on Sway in the morning and you'll have
I saw that.
Yes.
I saw that.
Was it a good experience?
That was a dope experience. Y'all killed that.
It was a good experience, yo.
Y'all repped OH. Y'all repped the OH.
I'm gonna tell you, look, I'm gonna tell you why that was such a good experience. Every time the phone rang and he had to pick up the phone, it was somebody that was like literally in Columbus at that moment, right there.
Yeah.
Wallaby called, Dirk called, Dommy Styles called. It was like 5 people, and I know all of them was in Columbus right when they called. It was great.
That was great.
That's dope.
It was great.
All
Yeah,
right, I want to give a shout out to Philly P for that line. Think about Ness.
Yes.
What would he say? R.I.P.
Yes.
Ness.
Can I give
One
you like
of
a
the
hidden?
dopest people I know.
Yes. Can I give you a hidden secret? I want to give y'all a secret, just because y'all, I love y'all, y'all. Let me do this. If you go to my album, what's the song? PTSD.
PTSD. I wanted to ask you about that.
Okay, what did you want to ask?
Was that like a song that you had already did and just added to the album, or that whole tempo just is switched up like it from the other songs on the album?
Spontaneous.
Yeah.
Look, I'm about to fuck you up. Like,
okay.
You think that all this interview was different? Like, I'm about to fuck you up. This is gonna fuck you all the way up. The dude that did that beat, the Kid Blaze, is my brother. That's like, I grew up with him. He lived in my apartment complex with me and Co. like for like mad years off of 161. He made this beat, and the beat was called Any Day Now. That beat that you heard, he made it for Ness. Ness passed away, so he has the beat like sitting there, right? This is my brother, so like when I come to his house, if I was like to let you in like on the sessions, because I have them recorded on my phone right now, you would be like, whoa. You would literally listen to these sessions on your phone. You would sit there and listen. It's that good, right? Yeah. He made this beat. He made that PTSD beat for Ness Word. I come to his house and I'm telling him what I want to rap about, and he gives me that beat. Now, I know Ness for a long time. I know Philly P, which is Philly P is like Ness Words like OG. I'm an OG nigga, so I deal with OG niggas. I don't be dealing with young niggas like that. I deal with older niggas. Philly P is the OG. That's why he's on my album, because he's the OG. Blaze made that beat for Ness Words, and he gave it to me. I never did songs with Ness, but me and Ness had a really good relationship because we were fathers. He has more children than me, and he's younger than me. And we used to always talk about our kids, and like, we never got to do songs together. We just never thought about music. We would always talk about like our kids and our wives and shit. Like, that's all we talked about.
He was a big energy person.
I got to do a song. I got to do a song on that beat that was made for him. So like, I really do feel like I got to work with Ness, even though I never did a song with Ness.
Right.
But that song was made for him. And we were supposed to have like 2 PA verses and a Ness verse, but he died. And like, once he died, like his wife and his kid, they was like, you can't use no Ness verses. Like they was just like, you can't use no Ness verses. So like, it's supposed to be like 2 PA verses and a Ness verse.
Right.
Like, that's what it's supposed to be. But like, I can't disrespect my guy like that. He passed away. I love him, and his wife and his kids are like, you can't use no Ness verse.
Okay.
So like, just imagine if it was me talking that shit I was talking, and then a Ness verse. It was supposed to be like Ness coming at the end, and nobody like hears it, and then he just comes in like he's still here with us and shit. It was gonna be so great. Like, we had this dope plan, and they was like, yo, nigga, like, you can't be on the song. So oh man, it was great. It was great.
Yep. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We wish you nothing but success. A big year in 2021 for you. And keep in touch with us and let us know if you have anything going on that you would like to talk about or share with us.